after about 2 kilometers of blundering around the ferns and the heather, I managed to find my path again.
Welcome to England, land of tradition. A land where eccentricity is everywhere, and you can judge a man by the size of his hat. Where so much was invented and yet nothing works. And culture is everywhere, but best served in large portions. I paid a visit to the Lake District. The Lake District is a damp green jewel in the far northwest of England. Somewhat remote from the busy industrial cities in the other parts of England, it has remained a paradise of mountains, lakes and rivers. In this video I'm going to tell you why the Lake District is a bad and terrible place for trail running, and any video that seems to show me having a good time should be ignored. I'm going to talk about the terrain, the weather, what are the trails like, and what should you do when you're out there. Here's the problem. There are a lot of peaks. It is not difficult to get to the top with some walking, and they are conveniently close together. They're often connected by beautiful ridge paths, so it is far too tempting to do a lot at once. Until you can't stop, and then you feel drawn towards insanity like the Bob Graham round. 42 peaks in one day, that's just gluttony. So mountains, avoid them. Okay, but what about the lower fells? Lots of great trails so close to where you're staying? Yeah, that's the problem. This is what happens.
What better thing to do at 6:30 in the morning than get up and go for a run?
You're supposed to be on holiday here. In bed. Not scrambling around hillsides like a confused yak as soon as the sun is up. Let's talk about the weather.
Any other time of year this would be a very muddy road, but since we're in a sort of heat wave here for the last few weeks, everything's dried out.
The Lake District weather is... It is never like this. It is never like this. It's cold and wet, it's windy, rains a lot, that's where the lakes come from. Got that? Okay, moving on.
The ground up here is a bit rougher, so I have to slow down and pick my way a bit.
There are both too many paths and not enough paths. How's that possible? They make it possible. Whenever you see a map with a lot of trail options, don't be fooled. It's a trick.
Well, the paths I'm following are not really paths so much as tracks with slightly less vegetation than elsewhere.
And making the path disappear isn't enough. If necessary, they will fell trees or change the entire forest just to stop you.
I wonder if the whole path is going to be like this. Yeah, it does not look great. Shit. Alright. Down the road, I guess.
And some of the roads are made out of ankle-breaking boulders because people in the past liked to think about people in the future and laughed hysterically at the thought of us writhing in pain. And if through grit and determination you survive all that, some of the roads are roads. Narrow roads with high hedges, walls and oncoming traffic, so try to run fast. With so much apparently open ground, it can be tempting to take a shortcut from one part to another. Yep, that's a mistake.
The vegetation on foot can be challenging because it's quite easy to roll an ankle in this kind of terrain. Open country always looks easy from a distance, but when you get right up to it, It's full of little tussocks and roots and plants that can trip you up or twist your ankle, so you really take some time to cross.
Close the gate. Fine, how hard can that be? Okay, normally, as long as you can open it in the first place, like it's a human piece of work and it isn't a trap. As long as it isn't the one you have to lift bodily and at the same time pull and at the same time reach around and try to find the piece of string or rock or wire or metal bolt or a mousetrap that is actually holding it closed in the first place, and then go through and then do all that in reverse to close the gate.
Look at this, this is amazing. All this is built by hand, one stone at a time.
Yeah, we're supposed to be here to run, but this place, it's just littered with work going back centuries, and it's distracting. It makes you stop and look and admire it. You lose so much time.
Just because of the dividing point between these walls, incredible.
And on the subject of time wasting, yes, we need hydration stops, and the pubs are far too well placed with their supply of running snacks and energy drinks. Just forget about setting any records. So there are too many mountains, the fells are too convenient, the paths are full of variety, gates have to be opened then closed, the weather is weather, and it's full of interesting distractions. Trail running in the Lake District. I guess there's nothing left but stop and enjoy the stupid view then. See you out there.